This pre-application information session is for the Justice for Families Program solicitation that was posted on or about December 1st, 2016. It is strongly recommended that you read the full solicitation prior to listening to this information session. Application submissions are due by 11:59 Eastern Time p.m. on January 12, 2017. Applications will be submitted through grants.gov. The Grants that Support Families in the Justice System, referred to as the Justice for Families Program, was authorized in the Violence Against Women Reauthorization Act, VAWA, of 2013 to improve the response of all aspects of the civil and criminal justice system to families with a history of sexual assault, domestic violence, dating violence, and stalking, or in cases involving allegations of child sexual abuse. The program supports the following activities for improving the capacity of communities and courts to respond to impacted families: court-based and court-related programs, supervised visitation and safe exchange by and between parents, training and technical assistance for people who work with families in the court system, civil legal services, provision of resources in juvenile court matters, and development of promotion of legislation, model codes, policies, and best practices. OPW is interested in funding projects that take a coordinated approach to helping families victimized by sexual assault, domestic violence, dating violence, and stalking as they navigate the justice system. In order to help achieve this coordinated approach, applicants may propose either a standard project or a comprehensive project. Purpose areas included are 1. Supervised visitation, 3. Training for court-based and court-related personnel, 4. Juvenile court resources, 5. Court and court-based programs and services, 6. Civil legal assistance, and 8. Training within civil justice systems. For projects addressing Purpose Area 6, Civil Legal Assistance, if more than 50% of the project activities and budget is allocated for civil legal assistance, then it would be better suited to the OVW Legal Assistance for Victims program, which applications are solicited annually. Standard project. Applicants must propose activities under Purpose Area number 1 or 5. If an applicant is proposing to provide supervised visitation, safe exchange services under Purpose Area 1, the applicant must also propose activities under at least one additional purpose area. The court's Purpose Area 5, can be addressed on its own or in combination with another purpose area. Comprehensive project. Applicants must propose activities under Purpose Areas 1, Supervised Visitation, 5, Courts, and 6, Civil Legal Services. OVW Priority Areas. Applications proposing activities in the following areas will be given special consideration during the review process. Number 1, strengthen and revitalize coordinated community response and multidisciplinary teams, prioritizing those that meaningfully involve organizations and programs that focus on marginalized communities. Number 2, meaningfully increase access to OVW programming for specific underserved populations based on race, ethnicity, sexual orientation, gender identity, disability, or age. Number 3, increase the use of promising or evidence-building practices where available. An underserved population means populations who face barriers in accessing and using victim services, and includes populations underserved because of geographic location, religion, sexual orientations, gender identity, underserved racial and ethnic populations, populations underserved because of special needs such as language barriers, disabilities, alienage status, or age, and any other population determined to be underserved by the Attorney General or by the Secretary of Health and Human Services as appropriate. Additionally, while there is no standard definition associated with this priority, the priority invites a meaningful response demonstrating an authentic commitment to better reaching populations in the applicant's community that face greater barriers to safety and justice than others. Applicants targeting the priority area should clearly document why the particular population is marginalized in their community and show that they have the capacity to address the priority effectively. activities that compromise victim safety and recovery. Please review carefully for all purpose areas, and applications that propose activities that compromise victim safety and recovery may receive a deduction in points during the review process or may be eliminated from further consideration entirely. Out-of-scope activities. Please review carefully and note that an application that is deemed to be substantially out of scope proposes a substantial number of activities that are unallowable or proposes activities that pose a significant threat to victim safety or a serious breach of confidentiality will not be considered for funding. The summary data sheet should include all information requested. Please note the difference between number 5, Appendix E, and number 7, Appendix D. Appendix D is a summary of all current and recent OVW-funded projects. Appendix E is a summary of current and pending non-OVW grants to do the same or similar work. Additionally, for number 10, percentage of grant activities addressing the issues, the total percentage of grant activities should not exceed 100%. Additionally, please be sure to include whether your project is a standard or comprehensive project in number 11. For number 12 and number 13, please state if either is not applicable because the lead applicant is such an entity for the nonprofit domestic violence or sexual assault victim service program or court. The grant award period is 36 months. Budgets must reflect 36 months of project activity, and the total estimated funding on the SF 424 must reflect 36 months. Generally, the award period will start on October 1, 2017. Funding levels under the Justice for Family program for FY17 are as follows. Standard projects up to $550,000. Comprehensive projects up to $700,000. OVW estimates that it will make up to 18 standard grant awards and 3 to 5 comprehensive grant awards for an estimated $11 million. For the types of applicants, please pay particular attention to the types of applicants as this has changed from previous years. Those considered new applicants are those that have never received funding under the Justice for Families program, including current and former safe havens and courts grantees. Continuation applicants are those that have an existing or recently closed within the last 12 months award under the Justice for Families program, i.e. the FY 2014 Justice for Families grantees, and meet the eligibility requirements. Continuation funding is not guaranteed. Additionally, continuation applicants with a substantial amount of remaining funds, more than 50%, at the time of application submission without adequate justification may not be considered for funding in FY 2017. Please note that grant recipients that received funding under the Justice for Families program for 36 months in FY 2015 or FY 2016 are not eligible to apply. Eligible applicants are limited to states, units of local government, courts, including juvenile courts, Indian tribal governments, nonprofit organizations, legal service providers, and victim service providers. Certification requirements are outlined for all purpose areas, and Appendix F has a chart identifying which types of projects require which statutory certifications. Appendices also have sample certification letters for each requirement. Certification letters should be separate documents and each signed by the authorizing official. The Justice for Families program requires partnerships. All applicants for the Justice for Families program must include formal partnerships with both, number 1, a nonprofit domestic violence or sexual assault victim services provider, and 2, a court. Applications that do not include a victim services provider and a court, either as the lead applicant or as partners, will not be eligible for Justice for Families program funding. Please keep in mind that a victim service provider is defined as a nonprofit, non-governmental organization, tribal organization,
or rape crisis center, including a state or tribal domestic violence and/or sexual assault coalition, domestic violence shelter, faith-based organization, or other organization with a documented history of effective work concerning domestic violence, dating violence, sexual assault, or stalking. Victim service providers should meet all of the following criteria. Number 1, provide direct services to victims of sexual assault, domestic violence, dating violence, or stalking as one of their primary purposes and have a demonstrated history of effective work in this field. Number 2, address a demonstrated need in their communities by providing services that promote the dignity and self-sufficiency of victims, improve their access to resources, and create options for victims seeking safety from perpetrator violence. And number 3, do not engage in or promote activities that compromise victim safety. Applicants intending to apply for FY 2017 funding under this program are strongly encouraged to submit a letter of registration. The letter should state that the applying organization is registered and current with SAM and with grants.gov. The letter should be submitted to OVW at ovw.jff@usdoj.gov by December 22, 2016. This will ensure that the applicant is well positioned to successfully submit a proposal by the application deadline. This letter will not obligate the applicant to submit an application. Interested applicants who did not submit a letter of registration are still eligible to apply. See Appendix B for a sample letter of registration. Under the application requirements, please note that there are a few differences between standard and comprehensive projects. Standard projects have a 20-page limit, while comprehensive projects have a 25-page limit. Additionally, budgets must include funds to attend OVW-sponsored training and technical assistance in the amount of $20,000 for standard projects and $25,000 for comprehensive projects for states, and $25,000 for standard projects and $30,000 for comprehensive projects for territories, Hawaii, and Alaska. Recipients of OVW funds must comply with applicable federal civil rights laws, which, among other things, prohibit recipients from discriminating on the basis of national origin and disability. This includes taking reasonable steps to ensure meaningful access to grantees' programs and activities for individuals with disabilities, deaf individuals, and persons with limited English proficiency. To meet this priority, applications must include activities designed to ensure accessibility and cost to support those activities. Additionally, applicants must include funds in their budget of a minimum of $5,000 or include other resources available to support activities to ensure access for individuals with disabilities, deaf individuals, and persons with limited English proficiency. Memorandum of Understanding, MOU. The MOU is a document containing the terms of the partnership and the roles and responsibilities between two or more parties. The MOU should be a single document with all appropriate signatures. Memoranda of Understanding must be current for the solicitation and the project you are proposing. Courts that are precluded from signing on to an MOU may submit letters of commitment in lieu of an MOU. If the court is the lead applicant, all project partners may also submit letters of commitment. If the lead applicant is not the court then may submit a letter of commitment, but all other project partners should sign the MOU. Applicants must have formal partnerships delineated in the MOU or letters of commitment with both 1, a domestic violence and/or sexual assault victim services provider, and 2, a court. Applications without the required partnerships may be eliminated from considering for funding. Please follow the criteria for either the MOU or letter of commitment and include all required information. Note that letters of commitment submitted in lieu of an MOU by any entity besides the court as the lead applicant, project partners,
if the court is a lead applicant, or the court as a partner will not be accepted.
Again, applications are due by 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time on January 12, 2017. It is strongly suggested you start the submission process at least 48 hours, but no later than 24 hours before January 12, 2017. Applications submitted after 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time on January 12, 2017 will not be considered for funding. Please review the solicitation carefully and contact OVW with any questions regarding this solicitation by either calling OVW at 202-307-6026 or email ovw.jff@usdoj.gov. If you need technical assistance with grants.gov, please contact the grants.gov customer support line at 1-800-518-4726.